Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Beretta 9mm USA Senior here, and whether we're on the Beretta 9mm USA channel or the CZ 9mm USA channel, we do want to thank our sponsors. One of them is Committee Coffee, so if you want some coffee, guys, check them out. Committee Coffee, you can order whatever kind of coffee you want, be it full bean or go ahead and grind it, they can do that too. So one of the things I love about them, not only is the coffee great, but this mug is fantastic. So if you guys need some decent mugs in the house, there you go. A revolver video on the Beretta 9mm USA channel. We used to do quite a bit of them, and then we kind of went to this platform right here, the PhD from Double Star. And I am a doctor, so I have a PhD now. Beautiful. Lovely. Today's subject matter is right here. Young Beretta bought this from Ruger along with, I don't know, 3 or 4 other guns, and that's why I kind of clown around here and have a little bit of fun and do whatever we want, because this is something that he went out and purchased, so he's out there spending money still, unlike myself, because I just really can't. Now that I'm retired, I have to restrain my spending and shrink my gun budget. So that's kind of what's going on. If I was a doctor and had a PhD, I probably would still be making money. This revolver had some issues out of box. It actually went 10-7 right out the get-go after pulling it like, I don't know, 15, 20 times. The whole trigger system locked up and was not operable any longer. So we took it over to Joel, and I wasn't there. They took it apart and fixed it. He was supposed to make some notes on that.
So guys, this is the Ruger SP101 Lipsies edition. Out of box, this revolver did not work because the piece that's at the bottom of the grip frame, as far as the tang, the internal tang underneath that Crimson Trace grip, was installed backwards, as far as the piece that connects to the hammer return spring from the factory on the stock Ruger rubber grips. Luckily, I have a gunsmith friend who took this revolver apart and immediately diagnosed what was wrong with it, flipped it around, and now the trigger is working perfectly. This is not going to be to the quality of a Smith & Wesson trigger, but this is going to be probably more reliable. This is a Ruger. It's going to be rugged and reliable, right? But it's not going to be as refined. You're going to have a lot more sharp edges and stuff like that on it. And you can see there's also a little mess up there on the end of the barrel crown there. It's just, guys, this is a cast gun. This is not a $1,000 plus revolver. You're going to probably have some little cosmetic issues with it, right, Brandon?
Yeah, that's what we've been seeing, and we've been seeing that for a long time. One thing about Ruger fans, Ruger fanboys, whatever, I'm not trying to insult you, but a lot of people that are big-time Ruger fans, they stand by them. They really do. They fully believe in them. So they may have little issues here and there, but the damn thing goes bang when you pull the trigger. So now that this thing is fixed, that's what we're thinking, that it's going to be a very reliable, smallish 5-shot, right?
Yeah, this is going to compare very well to the Taurus 605 Defender that we're going to compare it to.
Young Beretta, thank you so much for coming and speaking about what took it down right off the bat, and then we got it fixed. And we are going to shoot this one, right? In a shooting review and a versus video or whatever too, maybe. So there'll be numerous chances for us to do live fire with this revolver, and we'll see how it goes from there. And you bought quite a few of these. Are these all Crimson Trace grips?
Yeah, very high quality grips. Pretty spendy, guys, but I gotta say I think they're worth it, especially on like the Smith & Wesson J frames and stuff like that. Those guns are just a lot harder to shoot, and especially with the fully exposed backstrap grips, I've decided, so I've gone to Crimson Trace grips on almost all of our smaller wheel guns. I even bought you a pair for the Taurus.
That's nice. Thank you. Thanks very much. Okay, man, go ahead and get out of here, get back to work editing videos, and I'm going to finish up this one. Thanks for stopping in and talking about what the issue was.
No problem.
And guys, we'll pick up this video in just a minute. All right, guys, I'm back. On the website here from Ruger, under the SP101, it does say that it's a Lipsy distributor exclusive. It does not give a price. It does say that it's a 357 Magnum. There's the model number. Capacity is 5 with 3-inch barrel. Spec sheet. Let's click on that. So you can go to a bunch of different pictures on it if you want to see kind of what it's going to look like. It's just a blacked out little 3-inch revolver. You know, it's kind of cool looking. I don't think there's any argument as far as that's concerned. And on the spec sheet, I just wanted to know weight is 27 ounces. Overall length is 8 inches, it says. Capacity is 5, as we already talked about. Barrel length is 3. It says it has a gold front sight. I doubt that these are actual gold. These are probably bronze, but I could be wrong. Anyway, it does have a gold front sight. So that's probably going to glow a little bit in the daylight hours if you take it outside. For those of you that have never had a gold front sight before, or gold dot front sight before. They really do pick up nicely in direct sunlight. Anything else here I want to cover? Available in California? No. Available in Maine? No. So you guys don't get anything. It does have a transfer bar mechanism, provides unparalleled measure of security against accidental discharge. So that's why you can carry most revolvers a live round underneath the hammer as the first round up. Back many moons ago, many days ago, they would have an empty round, which is where the hammer sits on, just in case something would hit it really hard. It would prevent the revolver from going off. Not that I'm trying to go into a history lesson here. Where is my rag to wipe it down? I want to show you that into the muzzle area again. I don't think it really matters to young Beretta. He's very kind of forgiving as long as they're not too bad. He just goes ahead and pays the price and goes with it, and that's probably what he's going to do now. So I've wiped it all off. Let's see if we can get any kind of close up. Yeah, you can see where it's definitely been banged up. Anyway, the rest of the finish looks pretty thick and pretty good. Nice looking hammer on it. The hammer is knurled at the end, and so that helps you from the shooting position. Reach up and go to single action if you want to. And let's go ahead and test that since we're here. So on these, again, make sure the fatty part of your hand right here is not going to interfere with the fall of that hammer. If so, it is pretty self-correcting. You won't want to do it again. So normally I grab a 1911 back here with my pinky. Let's see if we can work it like that. So it's hooked up. Single action. 3 pounds 10 ounces. One more time in single. 4 pounds 13.3 ounces. You know, it's not bad. The benefit to this is when you go to single action, you know, if you can just touch it and fire it, that's great if you're an experienced revolver guy. But if you're not an experienced revolver guy, you hear it a lot of times. You breathe on that thing, it's going to go off. Well, this is what they're talking about here in single action, hammer back. If you tap that, you know, with a really super light 2-pound trigger, if you just reach up against it and start to tap it at all, it's going to go off. But when it's around 5 pounds, you actually have to pull the trigger. You have to actually make a conscious decision. I mean, I'm leaning against it right here with probably 3-4 pounds, and it ain't going off. You actually have to put the full 5 pounds, 5.5 pounds or whatever into it to make it go off. Over 11 or 12 pounds, and when I'm pulling it, it feels like 14, you know, 13.5, 14 pounds. So it takes a lot to go through a 14-pound trigger pull. So as a user, you're going to find that on a 13-pound trigger pull double action, you're going to want to be, you know, within 10 yards or whatever when you're first starting out. That way you kind of keep them on the target, because it is a little bit difficult, especially if you don't have a very strong hand or strong finger, to keep those rounds, you know, where you want them in the middle of your chest area with a revolver like this if you don't have any experience. There are different revolvers that are less than this. So if you want something that's got less poundage as far as a double action is concerned, make sure you go ahead and sort one of those out and check one of those out and tell them that's something you're concerned about, that you don't want a 11 or 12 or 13 pound double action trigger pull. A lot of times when you go into those nicer triggers in double action and single action, yes, the money goes up. So that's something to consider too. So until we take it to the range, guys, there it is with Crimson Trace grips on it, provided by young Beretta. He purchased it through Ruger. I think he bought like 4 or 5 or ordered 4 or 5 all to come in, and they're still coming in. They didn't all come in at the same time. And that's kind of what happens sometimes when you buy so many. If you think back a little ways, was it last year or the year before that we did a review on like 5 different or 4 different Mini 14s that were offered by Ruger at the time? We reviewed them all for the channel. And I kept one and he kept one. And the other ones I think we sent back to Ruger. So with Ruger, you have the opportunity, if you're a big enough and respected channel, to be able to receive some stuff from them. And if you want to keep it, then you have to pay for it. If you just want to receive a few things from them and test them and then send them back, they've been pretty good to us in that regard. All right, guys, that pretty much finishes this video on the Ruger SP101. It is the Lipsy distributor exclusive, model number 15707. It is in 357 Magnum, so you can shoot 357 Magnum through this almost mid-size revolver, or you can just put 38 special or 38 special plus P. Young Beretta and I are both huge fans of 38 special Plus P, because you can get that in hollow points from SIG and many other manufacturers, and it's a good hitting round. It is not a 357 round, but if you don't want your hand to hurt and ache, or you don't like a lot of recoil, 38 Special Plus P is an excellent way to go. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel here on Beretta 9mm USA and CZ 9mm USA. We appreciate you guys coming and watching the videos. We really appreciate you taking the time to hit the thumbs up button too. I'm trying to talk about that in the comments. That way you guys understand that it is still important, because then YouTube is more likely going to recommend other people to watch the video. So the thumbs up buttons do make a difference to some degree out there. Anyway, you guys be safe out there, and remember, your Second Amendment is worth protecting.